For thousands of years, the galaxy had been filled with powerful civilizations. Massive empires controlled star systems. Ancient species ruled trade routes and powerful fleets guarded their borders. Above them all stood the Galactic Council, an alliance of the most advanced races in the galaxy. Their main rule was simple. No civilization was allowed to become too powerful. Whenever a species grew too strong, the Council would quietly stop them before they could threaten the balance of the galaxy. Sometimes they used politics. Sometimes they used trade restrictions. And sometimes, they used war. For a long time, humanity was not considered important. Humans were a young species from a small blue planet called Earth. They had only recently discovered faster-than-light travel. Compared to ancient alien civilizations that had explored space for thousands of years, humans were still beginners. Most alien leaders believed humans would take centuries to become important. But humans had something very unusual. They learned very fast. Within a few decades, human engineers created faster ships. Human scientists discovered new energy sources. Human explorers built colonies on distant planets. Their fleets grew stronger every year. Many alien civilizations began to notice. Humans were not just growing. They were growing too quickly. Soon human trade routes connected dozens of star systems. Their fleets protected their colonies with powerful warships. Human soldiers became known for their bravery and stubbornness. When humans faced danger, they did not surrender. They adapted. They improved. They survived. And that made the Galactic Council nervous. Inside a massive space station near the center of the galaxy, the Council gathered for an emergency meeting. Representatives from many alien empires sat in a giant circular chamber. Holographic star maps floated in the air, showing the rapid expansion of human territory. One of the elder species spoke first. Human civilization is growing at a dangerous rate. Another alien leader added coldly, their technological progress is unpredictable. A third voice said something even more worrying. If this continues, humans may surpass us within a few centuries. The chamber fell silent. For thousands of years, the Council had controlled the balance of power in the galaxy. No species had ever risen so quickly. Finally, the oldest member of the Council made the decision. Humanity must be stopped before it becomes uncontrollable. A few members hesitated. Some species believed humans could still be controlled through diplomacy. But others strongly disagreed. Humans are too aggressive. They expand too quickly. They refuse to follow galactic tradition. The final vote was made only minutes later. The decision was clear. Human civilization would be deleted from the galaxy. Orders were immediately sent to several powerful alien empires. A massive joint fleet began preparing for war. Thousands of warships gathered together in deep space. Battleships. Carriers. Destroyers. An armada large enough to erase an entire civilization. Their target was simple. Earth. Within hours, the alien fleet activated their hyperspace drives. Giant ships vanished into bright flashes of light as they jumped across the galaxy. Their destination was human territory. Meanwhile, on Earth, everything seemed peaceful. Cities were full of life. Trade ships moved between planets. Colonies across human space continued their normal activities. Most humans had no idea that a massive alien fleet was already on its way. But in one hidden location, the truth was known. Deep beneath the surface of the moon, inside a secret military facility, several human commanders stood in front of a large holographic screen. The screen showed a terrifying image. Thousands of alien warships had just appeared at the edge of human space. The invasion had begun. One young officer spoke nervously. "Sir, the alien fleet is larger than anything we've ever seen." Another officer looked worried. They could reach Earth within hours. For a moment, the room was silent. Then the oldest commander in the room slowly crossed his arms and looked at the screen. But instead of fear, he smiled. A calm, confident smile. "They finally made their move," he said quietly. The other officers looked confused. "Sir," one of them asked. The commander looked back at them. "For centuries we hoped this day would never come." He paused for a moment before speaking again. "But if the galaxy wants war," his voice became serious, "then humanity will give them something they never expected." The commander turned toward another officer. "Prepare the activation sequence." The officer looked shocked. "You mean, that project?" The commander nodded. "Yes." Across the dark room, warning lights slowly began to glow. A secret system deep beneath the moon started to power up. Something humanity had been secretly building for hundreds of years. Something the galaxy did not know existed. And if the alien fleet continued their attack, humanity was about to activate its final weapon. The alien armada moved through space like a dark storm. Thousands of warships traveled together in perfect formation. Their engines glowed like cold stars as they crossed the outer edge of human territory. The fleet was so large that it blocked entire sections of the sky. Inside the alien command ship, the invasion leaders watched the star maps carefully. Human colonies appeared as small lights across the system. Soon, those lights would disappear. The commander of the armada, a tall armored alien known as High Commander Verex, stood silently near the main window of the bridge. Outside, endless warships stretched across space. One of his officers spoke. "Commander, we have entered human territory. Their defense fleets are moving to intercept." Verex nodded calmly. "Expected." Another officer added, "Human ships are forming defensive lines near their outer colonies." The commander studied the display for a moment before speaking again. "Begin Phase 1. Immediately, hundreds of alien destroyers accelerated forward. Their weapons powered up, glowing with dangerous energy. Moments later, the first battle began. Human patrol fleets met the alien armada near the edge of the system. Compared to the massive alien fleet, the human ships looked small. But they did not retreat. Human warships opened fire first. Bright beams of energy crossed space as missiles and plasma cannons struck the alien ships. Explosions lit the darkness. For a moment, the battle looked evenly matched. Then the rest of the alien armada arrived. Thousands of ships surrounded the human fleet like a metal ocean. Powerful weapons fired in every direction. Human ships began to fall one by one. Yet something strange was happening. The human fleet was not fighting to win. They were falling back on purpose. Alien officers noticed it quickly. "Commander, human ships are retreating toward their inner colonies." Verex watched the tactical map closely. "Are they running?" Another officer shook his head. "No, their movements are too organized." Human ships continued to retreat deeper into the system, drawing the alien fleet closer and closer to Earth. The alien commanders believed they understood the situation. Humans were trying to slow them down. They were wrong. Meanwhile, on Earth, panic had begun to spread. News reports showed images of alien ships appearing in the sky above distant colonies. Governments across the planet activated emergency defense systems. Military fleets rushed to protect major cities and orbital stations. But everyone knew the truth. The alien armada was far too large. Even the strongest human fleets could not stop it. Across the planet, people looked up at the sky with fear. But far away from the chaos, beneath the gray surface of the moon, the secret facility remained calm. Inside the command center, dozens of scientists and military officers watched the battle unfold on massive holographic screens. The alien fleet continued to push forward. Exactly as predicted. A young scientist nervously checked the system readings. "Sir, the alien fleet will reach Earth's orbit in 3 hours." The room remained quiet. Then the same human commander from before stepped forward. His name was Admiral Marcus Hale. He studied the star map carefully. The alien fleet had followed the retreating human ships deeper into the system. Exactly where humanity wanted them. Admiral Hale turned toward the control team. How long until the system is ready? A technician answered immediately. Project Guardian is at 60% power. Another scientist added, ancient network nodes across the system are beginning to respond. Several officers exchanged nervous looks. The technology they were activating was not fully understood. Humans had discovered it long ago in deep space. A massive structure hidden near a dead star. It was ancient. Far older than any known civilization. And humanity had secretly been studying it for centuries. Now they were about to use it. Admiral Hale spoke quietly. Continue the activation sequence. Back in space, the alien armada pushed forward without fear. They destroyed several human defense fleets and captured outer colonies with ease. High Commander Verex watched the battle results. Human resistance is weaker than expected, he said. Another officer smiled. Earth will fall quickly. But as the alien fleet moved closer to the inner system, strange signals began appearing on their sensors. Energy spikes. Gravitational disturbances. Unknown transmissions. One officer frowned at the readings. Commander, we are detecting unusual activity across multiple star locations. Verex turned toward the screen. What kind of activity? The officer hesitated. We are not sure. The signals appear ancient. At the same moment, deep beneath the moon, the final systems began to power up. Massive energy readings filled the control room. Lights flashed across every console. Project Guardian was almost ready. Admiral Hale looked at the countdown timer slowly reaching 0. Then he gave the order humanity had prepared for hundreds of years. Begin final activation. Far beyond Earth. Something ancient was beginning to wake. Far beyond the edge of human space, something ancient had been sleeping for millions of years. Long before humans discovered space travel, before many civilizations in the galaxy even existed, a mysterious structure had been built near a dying star. It was enormous, larger than any station humans had ever seen. The object looked like a giant ring made of dark metal, covered in strange symbols no one fully understood. Humans had discovered it almost 200 years ago during a deep space exploration mission. At first, scientists believed it was simply an ancient ruin left behind by a lost civilization. But when they studied it more carefully, they realized something terrifying. The structure was not abandoned. It was inactive. And it was connected to hundreds of similar structures hidden across the galaxy. Human researchers named it the Guardian Network. No one knew who built it. No records of such technology existed in any alien database. Even the oldest species in the galaxy had never heard of it. But humans discovered something important. The network was not a weapon designed for destruction. It was a control system. A system capable of controlling energy, gravity, and technology across entire star systems. At first, the discovery frightened human scientists. The power of such technology was beyond imagination. One mistake could destroy planets. So humanity kept the discovery secret. For decades, the Guardian Network remained hidden while human engineers carefully studied it. Slowly, they learned how to activate small parts of it. They learned how to control its signals. They learned how the ancient machines communicated across space. But there was one rule humanity never broke. They never activated the entire network. Because once the system was fully active, it could never be turned off. It would become a permanent force controlling every machine connected to it. For many years, human leaders debated what to do with such power. Some believed the technology should be destroyed. Others believed it should remain hidden forever. In the end, humanity made a simple decision. The network would only be used if humanity faced complete extinction. And now, that moment had arrived. Deep beneath the moon, the secret command facility was alive with activity. Energy readings were rising quickly. Massive amounts of power were flowing through hidden satellites and ancient relay stations scattered across human space. The Guardian network was beginning to wake. Admiral Marcus Hale stood at the center of the command room, watching the data appear on the holographic display. One of the scientists spoke nervously. "Sir, network nodes are activating across the system." Another technician added, "Energy levels are stable. The ancient machines are responding to our signals." For the first time in centuries, the full power of the Guardian network was coming online. Admiral Hale asked one question. "How long until full activation?" The lead engineer checked the console. 10 minutes. The room became quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. In 10 minutes, humanity would control a power greater than any fleet in the galaxy. Meanwhile, the alien armada continued moving toward Earth. High Commander Varek stood on the bridge of his command ship, watching the blue planet appear in the distance. Thousands of alien warships surrounded it. Victory was only moments away. "Prepare the main weapons," he ordered. The alien fleet began charging their massive cannons. Enough firepower to destroy every major human city in seconds. But suddenly, alarms began ringing across the bridge. One officer looked down at his control panel in confusion. "Commander, something is wrong." Varex turned sharply. "What is it?" "Our systems are losing connection to the fleet." Another officer shouted from the navigation console. "Engines are slowing down. We are losing control." Across the alien armada, strange problems began appearing. Weapons stopped responding. Engines powered down. Communication systems filled with static. Ships that had worked perfectly minutes before were suddenly failing. Commander Varek stared at the screens in disbelief. "What is happening?" No one had an answer. At that exact moment, deep beneath the moon, the countdown reached 0. A calm voice echoed across the command center. "Guardian network, fully activated." Admiral Hale slowly looked up at the holographic star map. Across the entire system, ancient machines had awakened. And now, humanity had just taken control of something far more powerful than any fleet in the galaxy. For a few seconds, space around Earth became strangely quiet. The alien armada surrounded the planet like a giant steel wall. Thousands of warships floated in perfect formation, their massive weapons pointed toward the blue world below. Then everything stopped. Engines that had been glowing with power suddenly went dark. Weapon systems froze in place. Navigation controls refused to respond. Across the alien fleet, confusion spread instantly. Inside the command ship, warning alarms filled the bridge with flashing red lights. "Commander, we are losing engine control." Another officer shouted from the weapons console. "Main cannons are offline. All targeting systems have shut down." High Commander Varek stepped forward quickly, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Reset the systems immediately." The crew tried. Nothing worked. Across the entire armada, thousands of ships were experiencing the same problem. The fleet that had come to destroy humanity was now drifting helplessly in space. Then something even stranger appeared on their sensors. A massive wave of energy was spreading through the entire star system. One officer stared at the readings in shock. "Commander, a network of unknown signals is controlling our technology." "Controlling?" Varex repeated. "Yes, Commander. Our systems are responding to an external authority." At that exact moment, every screen on the bridge flickered. A single message appeared. "Unauthorized system detected." Then the message changed. "System control transferred." Verex felt something he had not experienced in many years. Fear. Outside the command ship, the stars themselves seemed to glow brighter. Across the solar system, massive ancient structures began activating one after another. Hidden stations that had remained silent for millions of years slowly came to life. Gigantic rings of dark metal rotated in deep space. Energy beams connected them across unimaginable distances. The Guardian network was fully awake. And it was connected to every advanced machine within the system. Every ship. Every weapon. Every computer. Including the alien fleet. Back on Earth, human defense commanders watched the event unfold with silent disbelief. The enormous alien armada that had threatened their world just minutes earlier was now completely powerless. The sky above Earth was suddenly calm. No weapons fired. No ships moved. Deep beneath the moon, inside the secret command facility, Admiral Marcus Hale stood calmly as the final system reports arrived. A technician spoke quietly. "Sir, the entire alien fleet is under Guardian network control." Another officer added, "All hostile weapons have been permanently disabled." The room filled with quiet relief. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity was safe. But Admiral Hale knew this moment meant something far bigger. Humanity had just activated a power that could influence technology across entire star systems. A power older than every civilization in the galaxy. He slowly walked toward the communication console. "Prepare a system-wide broadcast." Moments later, a powerful signal spread through space. It reached every alien ship. Every satellite. Every communication station in the system. On thousands of screens across the alien armada, a human transmission appeared. The image of Admiral Hale stood calmly against a dark background. His voice was steady. "Attention to all fleets of the Galactic Council." Inside the alien command ship, Commander Verex watched the message in silence. "You came here to erase humanity from existence." Hale paused for a moment. "But you made a mistake." Behind him, the holographic display showed the Guardian network stretching across the solar system. Ancient machines glowing with unimaginable power. "You believed humanity was weak. Instead, you forced us to activate the only system capable of defending our species." Across the alien fleet, stunned officers listened to the message. Their ships still refused to move. Their weapons were useless. Hale spoke one final sentence. "From this moment forward, no fleet will threaten Earth again." Then the transmission ended. Commander Verex slowly looked out the window at the silent fleet around him. Thousands of warships, completely powerless. For the first time in thousands of years, the Galactic Council had lost control of the galaxy. And humanity had just become the most powerful force among the stars. Silence filled the solar system. The alien armada that had arrived with the power to destroy an entire civilization was now floating helplessly above Earth. Thousands of ships drifted slowly through space, their engines cold, their weapons completely useless. For the first time since the invasion began, the skies above Earth were peaceful. But across the galaxy, confusion was spreading quickly. News of the failed invasion had already begun reaching the Galactic Council. Long-distance communication relays carried urgent reports from the trapped alien fleet near Earth. Inside the Council's massive chamber, panic had replaced confidence. "What do you mean the fleet has lost control?" one alien leader demanded. A nervous officer responded through a holographic transmission. "Our ships cannot activate engines, weapons, or navigation systems. Every machine in the fleet is responding to an external command network." Another council member spoke in disbelief. "That is impossible. No species possesses technology capable of controlling an entire fleet." But the evidence was clear. Humanity had done exactly that. Back near Earth, Admiral Marcus Hale stood once again in the command center beneath the moon. Around him, scientists and officers carefully monitored the Guardian network. Every system in the solar system now responded to human commands. Human satellites moved freely. Human ships regained full control. But the alien fleet remained locked under Guardian authority. One officer looked at the data feed. "Sir, we have confirmed something important." Admiral Hale turned. "What is it?" "The Guardian network is not limited to this star system." The officer expanded the holographic map. Across the display, dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of faint signals appeared. Ancient machines hidden across the galaxy. The Guardian network was far larger than humanity had ever realized. Admiral Hale studied the map carefully. The ancient creators of the network had built something massive. A defensive system meant to maintain order across entire regions of space. And now humanity had become its operator. The Admiral quietly understood what this meant. The balance of power in the galaxy had just changed forever. He turned toward the communication console again. "Prepare a full galactic broadcast." Within minutes, powerful signals traveled through the Guardian network, spreading faster than any normal transmission. Across thousands of star systems, screens began to activate. Alien governments. Military fleets. Trade stations. Exploration ships. Every major civilization in the galaxy suddenly received the same unexpected message. The image of Admiral Hale appeared once again. But this time, the message was not only for the fleet near Earth. It was for everyone. His voice was calm but firm. For centuries, humanity has lived quietly among the stars. We explored. We traded. We respected the laws of the Galactic Council. He paused. But today, the Council decided humanity should no longer exist. Across the galaxy, leaders watched the message in silence. An armada was sent to erase our species. The holographic image behind him changed, showing the massive alien fleet frozen above Earth. But humanity survived. Then the display expanded further, revealing the glowing ancient structures of the Guardian network. "You forced us to activate a system older than any known civilization." A long pause followed. Then Hale spoke the words that would change galactic history. "The Guardian network now protects human space. And from this moment forward, any fleet that threatens humanity will lose control of its technology." Shock spread through alien governments everywhere. The message was clear. Humanity did not need the largest fleets anymore. They controlled something far more powerful. Hale delivered the final line slowly. "We never wanted to rule the galaxy. But we will never allow anyone to erase us." The transmission ended. Across the universe, countless civilizations stared at their screens in stunned silence. The Galactic Council had tried to delete humanity from existence. Instead, they had awakened something far worse. They had forced humanity to activate the ultimate guardian of the stars. And from that day forward, no one in the galaxy would ever underestimate humanity again.